or you can look in the particular folder to find out which one. It basically has Forex, just depends on your broker. Um, it's a bunch of different brokers out there. I would tell you, get with the person who invited you to this great opportunity. Who would they recommend for the broker? Because there's so many different regulations in different parts of the world, I would want you guys to get with the person that signed you up to refer a broker for you. But when we come back to the folders, these pairs here are exotics. It's not a major currency. The DDK, I'm not even sure what that is. But that's the folder where you would find it. For the most part, you want to get all of the major currencies, the AUD, CHF, and the AUD is Australian dollar, CAD is the Canadian dollar, CHF is the Swiss franc, AUD, JPY is the Australian dollar, Japanese yen, AUD. So AUD, USD, that's the Australian dollar, US dollar. CAD, that's the Canadian dollar. Again, the Swiss franc is CHF. And basically, over time, you're going to get comfortable with these pairs. What we like to do for sure, you might see some people in the chat talking about it, and they would be like ACAD, that's just Australian dollar CAD, or they might say AJ, that's the Australian dollar, and Japanese yen, just the first letter in each pair. AN, you might just hear some conversations happening. I don't want you guys to be lost. Just want you to have a good understanding as to why or what is actually happening, so that you guys can be able to at least don't feel lost when you're going through, right? So what I like to do is I like to use the advanced view so I can see the spread. The spread is the difference between these numbers to the right of the pair. So at AUD, CAD, we see one is 0.94206 and then 0.94234. So if you press buy, you would get one number, and if you hit sell, you would get the other number. And the difference between those two numbers is the spread. So right now, these spreads, for me, are kind of high because I've been with brokers where the spreads were less than this. The lower the spread, maybe the better, depending on the charges per trade. And that's a topic for a different session. All right. So when we're looking at a pair, let's just go with AUD CAD. If we want to go to, and I know I'm using an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you want to navigate MT4 mobile, you can either touch the pair that you want to trade. So AUD CAD, just touch it, and then you will get an option to trade, chart, or details. I don't never check for details, to be honest. I don't check for the details. And before I enter any trade, I want to see where the market is. So if I touch a pair, I'm always going to go to the chart. Even if I'm taking a trade from someone, I always hit the chart just to see it, just to see what the pair is doing. And when you get to the chart, you can also get to the chart by hitting one of the bottom buttons. So we have quotes, and then chart, and then trade, and then history, and then settings on an iPhone. So we're on the chart right now. We're looking at this to see what it's going to do. To change the time frame, the H4. H4 means that we're on the 4-hour time frame, and each candle represents 4 hours of what price is doing. And so we zoom in a little, and the previous candle, the small red candle right there, that ran for 4 hours and pretty much didn't really make any moves on the 4-hour chart. And then we had the next candle open, the current candle, which opened up at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which has been running for about 2 hours and 11 minutes. So it still has about 1 hour and 49 minutes left before this candle actually closes. So when I say close, what I mean by close is where the candle actually stops. This candle can run and come all the way up to here, but decides that it wants to close down here. The close is very important when you're looking at trying to enter a market. So if you want to change time frames, you say the 4-hour might be too long for you, you're just getting started. You can hit the H4 button in the top left corner, and the different time frames are going to pop up. The M1 is the 1-minute chart. The M5 is the 15-minute chart, meaning that each candle is going to run for 5 minutes. The M15, 15-minute chart. The M30 is the 30-minute chart. H1 H is for the hour, so it's the 1 hour chart. We're currently on the 4 hour chart. The D1, that's the 1 day. And then the W1 is 1 week, and MN is 1 month. All right, so for the purpose of this, we're just gonna go over to the 15-minute chart. So I touched the H4, hit the M15, and now I'm on the 15-minute chart. Each candle represents 15 minutes. All right, so I know you guys that's been trading for a little while, you use different stuff. So for the purpose of this training, I'm just gonna add an indicator. I want to show you guys how to add an indicator. But before I do that, this plus sign here, the crosshairs, it basically helps me to identify where a price is or where a particular price closed. If I want to see, I just move the cursor around of which candle I want to stop. Let's see the high, how high this candle went. I know you guys can't really see the wicks good on this. I having a hard time looking at the screen, on the computer screen, to see the wicks, but I know that the candle went this high. This particular candle here went this high, and I'm using the crosshairs to help me out a little. All right, so that's the crosshair. The crosshair stops me from moving the chart, so I don't really like to use the crosshair that much. And to add indicators, I hit this F. I hit that F, and it'll take me to this screen. I want to add an indicator to my main window, and I'm just going to add the cloud, the Ikimuku Kink Ohio. I'm just going to touch it, make sure the settings are good. This is the default setting. I'm just going to hit done, and now I have the cloud on my chart. It's a bit dull right now. If I want to change it, I can go back to F, or I can just touch my screen, go to indicators, and I can touch the cloud, and I go to style, Tinkinson. We might want to make that a bit thicker. So let's go 3 pixels, hit save, Kijinson, 3 pixels, hit save, hit done. I go back to the chart, and now I can see these 2 lines on the cloud have gotten a little bit thicker because I changed the settings. So just want to touch the screen again, go back to the cloud, and just make everything a little bit bigger, easier to see. I don't normally trade with the cloud, but 2 pixels, 2 pixels. All right, save, done. And now I can see the cloud a whole lot better. I like to see price for what it is, and so I probably would just remove all these after. If you want to add a different indicator, you can go back to the F button, or you can go ahead and just touch the screen if you have an iPhone, and the indicator is going to pop up. Say I want to add the RSI. Let me slow that down. So I just hit in the main window. Then we're looking for the relative strength index, the RSI. The period isn't the default setting on it, so I'm just going to change it to 14. Apply the close levels. I'm just going to leave it at 50 to show a level in between, or I can go 70, 70. Hit done, and I can go back to the RSI, hit the RSI again, hit add another level, and I want this one to be 30, hit done, and you guys can see that the 70 and the 30 are marked on the RSI. So the first thing I like to do when I come to I add an RSI or some indicator to this bottom field, to the indicator window, I like to hold my screen down and make it a little bit smaller so I can see more of the chart. And I also kind of move my chart back away from the corner on the right side. I don't want to look at my candles here. So I hold it down, do a hard press, and slide it over. Do a hard press on one of the lines and slide it over just to give me more room to actually see what price is doing. So I don't have to be jamming up in the corner trying to see what happened here. So I slide it over. All right. So for the most part, anytime you enter a trade, let's go back to the quotes and let's look for a pair with a low spread. So we look at AUD USD, that's 11, that's 1 pip at. Let's see which one I find is the lowest. So EUR USD is saying 9 pipettes. So let's ride with that. Let's go with EUR USD. Take a look at what price is doing. I trade long term for the most part, and so I want to see what it's doing on the higher time frame. I don't like to analyze on my phone. I like to use tradingview.com to actually look at the market. And I place this line just to see what price was doing in the past. I see resistance. I see resistance in this area here, where we saw support in the past. So I just want to hop in this trade as a demo. Change my lot size. When you come to this screen here, I know you see some of the traders throw out trades like a buy stop, a sell stop, a buy limit, sell limit. And if you want to enter one of those, you would just come touch the market execution or instant execution. Just touch that, you will get them to drop down. A buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. I actually have a video on my YouTube explaining those pending orders. I don't want to take up too much time going over them today, but make sure if you're doing an instant execution or market execution, you make sure that it's ticked on the right side. You look at it, everything looks good, lot size looks good, so I'm just going to hit buy just to get in the trade. Take a look at it on the 15. And with this trade now, I want to show you guys how to modify, and hopefully we can get in profit so I can do the stop loss and profit. All right, so take this off charge. All right, so looking at this now, we just bought at 0.01. That's our lot size, 0.01. And this is just an example. I am not expecting a TP or stop loss to get hit, so I hope you guys didn't enter. All right, so when you come over to this trade screen now, the third one from the bottom, the numbers right below your currency pair, right under EUR USD, the market is going to give you an entry price. And notice that the entry price is not moving. The arrow is pointing to where price is right now. And because we bought, we expected the market to go up, right? So when we buy, I want you guys to think of it like this: buy equal up and sell equal down. So once you identify your entry number, which is right underneath the pair, the 1.16346. When I got started, the first thing I used to do was write down my entry price. So that's 1.16346. And with this, once you write that down, I want you to put a line right before the last number, which is a 6. So in between the 4 and the 6, I want you to draw a line to come down, because we're going to disregard that last number. And because we bought buy equal up, when we look at the numbers on the chart, if we look over to the right, we can see that the numbers are increasing over on the right-hand side where the exchange rates are. All right, so it's saying 31, 33, 35, 37, they're increasing. So if we buy, we're expecting the market to go up. So we want to add for our take profit. And so you just want to touch this area, touch the open trade, underneath positions, just touch EUR USD buy at 0.01, just touch it. It's going to expand. It's going to show you that SL is blank, TP is blank, no swap, no taxes, no charges. It depends on your broker. It's going to look totally different. Your broker may charge you per trade. All right. So we have our entry number. We already put our line right in front of the last number, in between the 4 and the 6. And because we bought, we're going to add 10 from the back of the number. So we want to add 10 to 34 because we disregarded the 6. So 34 plus 10 would give us 44. So we just add 10 right under 34 and put a line to show the equal sign. If you add them straight down, and then just do the math, bring the 6 down, 4, 4, bring down the 6, bring down the 1, bring down the 1. So I'm going to stop sharing right quick so I can share my whiteboard. So I can share my whiteboard to basically explain what it is that I'm doing. And if this is too new, if this is too early in the beginning, if it's too early in the beginning, let me know, guys. If you guys all know how to enter a trade, I don't really need to go over this, really, truly. But I'm going to bring up the whiteboard anyway. so let me just write down our entry price. Our entry price is 1.16346, right? We did that. And now I want to put a line in between the last number and the previous number. We bought EU 0.01. That was our lot size, right? So because we did that, because we bought, we expect buy is up, buy equal up, buy equal up, sell equals down. Buy equal up, sell equal down. Right? So because we bought EUR USD, we want to add 10. To that number, put a line through it to show the equal sign. Because we disregarded the last number, we're just going to bring it down. So that'll be 6. 34 plus 10 is 44, and just bring everything else down. Automatically bring that 6 down. This is working me hard. Bring that 6 down. Bring that 6 down, bring that 1 down, bring that 1 down, bring the point down to 1 time, right? So our take profit now is going to be 1.16446. Simple, so far simple, everything's simple, just a matter of adding 10, don't let these other numbers fool you. It's a small, simple math. If we had sold, let me modify the trade first. Has modified the trade. Just so when you want to modify, you need to hold this down, hit modify, and you can move the cursor 1.16446, hit modify. The same calculation that we did on the whiteboard. We modified it. You can always come back here to check it out. 1634. We always disregard the last number. So 44, 33 plus 10 is 44. That's good to go. So the take profit is set. We go back to the chart. We can look at it. Let me just clear up these indicators. Delete, delete. Go back to the chart, and you guys can see that our take profit is on the chart. Once price gets to our take profit, right, we got in here at our entry, price move. And once price gets to our TP, the TP mark over here, TP, once price gets here, it'll knock us out of the trade with a profit. And so now, because we added for our take profit, now we want to subtract for our stop loss. The stop loss is really up to you and basically what you learned in the academy, depending on the strategy that you're following. Me personally, I like to focus on risk to reward. So I like to kind of, I want my reward to be bigger than my risk. And it's kind of why I don't scalp a lot, but that's neither here nor there. So when I'm looking at this now, I see this area of support right here. If you follow the crosshair, you just drop a line, and to get your drawing tools, you can just hit the shapes, and you can add the object, and then you just move it basically where you want to go. So I see this area here where price is finding support over here in the past, found support here. So anywhere below here for me, would be a good stop loss. It might be kind of tight, but for the purpose of this training, I just want to put my stop loss below a support level where I feel comfortable. If I want to get below these wicks over here, I can place my stop loss here at 1.16255. Don't know how much pips that is right now. I would have to go back to my trade. So that would be about 25. That would be about 9 pips stop loss. 9 pips. So let's just modify it one time. Modify 116,255. Hit modify. And the stop loss is set. And notice, guys, when you look at this trade now, to the left-hand side, the EUR USD, it turned red. It turned red because it's within 10 pips of hitting our stop loss. It's within 10 pips of hitting our stop loss. If I was to move this, if I were to delete my stop loss, hit modify, the color moved away because it's not close to my stop loss because I don't have one set. When this was in profit, you can see that it turned green over to the left-hand side of the pair's name. I wanna jump in the trade for more than 1 cent. So just so I can show you guys how to take a partial profit. Let's find a different pair. I have no idea what these pairs are doing, guys. I just looking at it and hopping in. Again, these are not trade ideas. I just hopping in something because this is going down right now. I'm just gonna hit sell at 2 cents, just so I can show you guys. Over time, you're gonna get a lot faster. So my entry is 55. We sold 55 minus 10 is 45. I can show you guys that on the whiteboard as well. But 45.1, hit modify. Over time, you're gonna get a lot faster and do it like how I doing it. But chart. Let me just do that again. So I hit sell. I think I went too fast just now. Go back to the chart. Look at go to the trade so I can see my open positions. And now my entry price now, because prices changed, my entry price now is 105.555 and not 551. My entry now is 555, right? So I'm gonna hold down this area, the open trade. You guys can see the SL and TP is blank. Hold it down, hit modify, 55 was my entry. We sold, so I wanna subtract 10 from 55, which would give us 45. And then put the last number back, which was a 5, and I hit modify, and we good to go. We can look at the chart, see how it's playing out. All right. So if you guys in profit or you see a message from a trader saying take a partial profit, I would actually love to take a partial profit. For iPhones, I just slide from where I'm looking at this bottom trade, the 23 cents, the negative 23 cents right now. I'm gonna go from the negative number and swipe over towards the pair's name from the right to the left. And you guys gonna see a checkbox, a pencil, a plus, and I guess a chart. So to take a partial, you wanna hit that check mark. Hit the check mark. It's gonna ask you if you wanna close with a loss. And you guys can actually lower your lot size, change that from 0.02 because we got in for 2 cents. Change that to 1, and now you can close with a 12 with just a loss of 12 cents, but you will leave the other 1 cent running. Right. So if you hit that, we'll see that it turned to 0.01. We can do the same thing for this USD JPY. Let's take a partial, swipe over from right to left, from the right side of the screen towards where the account balance is, towards the pair's name. Hit the check marks, 2 cents. It won't. The second I tried to take it higher, it automatically changed and it didn't allow me. And I go back down, I can change it back to 1 cent. I can take a small loss and leave the trade running. So it works better when you're in profit. That way you can actually secure some of your profit without actually closing the trade. My entry prices still remain the same. The only difference is I took a loss a partial loss. If I had let that run, we probably would have ended up in profit. Let's take a look back at EU. Price came down a little bit. We still have 13 minutes left on this candle. Where the candle close is very important. I went over what the close meant already. All right. So far, we've covered entering a trade, modifying, explaining the pairs, the spread, how to add new pairs, how to edit it. I like to put it in alphabetical order. You can just drag it from the right side. C, E, okay, right? It depends what come out of edit mode. The open trades fall under trade. The chart is here. To get to a chart from a particular pair, you just need to touch on that pair and go to the chart and look at it from there. History is where all your closed positions would actually go. So this money on this screen isn't yours until you actually close out the trade. And that's why I like the partial profit so much. I can take a partial profit if I'm up in a trade and let's say I up $10 and I'm not sure if that is going to continue going in my direction. I can take a partial profit and probably close out half that trade and take $5 off the table. I guarantee $5 from that trade. I want to do a stop loss in profit, but I don't want to wait for a trade to actually get in profit to plug that in. That's fine when I get in profit one time. No, I ain't gonna do that. I feel like I forced it. Even though this is my demo account, I don't want to force anything. But UJ probably will bounce back and get us in the profit. I'm gonna go over MT4 on the computer now. When we come back, we can probably show taking a partial profit and stop loss in profit on the mobile version. All right. So I'm just gonna swap over and share the mobile version. All right. So let me just remove all the indicators so I can set up the chart properly. So when you get started, your chart is probably going to look like this, something similar to this. I personally don't like the grid. I feel like I can't see the chart too much. So the first thing that I do is I right click somewhere on the chart so I can go over to the properties. And you would download the desktop version or the computer version, I should say, because you could use it on a laptop as well. Download MT4 from your broker's site. You probably don't even have to log in. You can probably just go to their website and download it. And you'll use your same credentials for MT4, the mobile version for your desktop version. So right click on the chart. If it looks like this, go to properties. I like to go to comment first so I can show the ask line, show the period separators sometimes. I just remove it now. I'm also gonna remove the grid. I don't wanna show volumes. I don't want to show object descriptions. So the colors now, you can either pick a color scheme, black on white. This is how it will look. Green on black, yellow on black. Let's go black on white. So the foreground is white. That's the numbers. Background black. Grid. We don't have a grid because we deselected it over here. Bar up. Bar up. I like to do, what is it, green, lime green, lime green. All right, so let's go lime. For me, this is my preferences, and you guys can change to your likings. I just do them so it can stand out to me. The bull candle is the buy candle, and I'm gonna put that at blue. Blue, just me and Bunny to me. So I just putting it at blue there. I go in red because red is, and I look at it up and down, because we can make money going down too. Our background is white. So we're gonna leave the line graph at black. Volumes, you don't have any volumes, axe line and stop levels, because it's gonna leave them there. So this is how my chart will look. I'm just gonna hit OK, and that kind of changes the whole dynamics of it. I want to remove these as well. So I'm just going to right click and go back over to indicator list. So right click on the chart, go to indicator list. I'm just going to delete all of them. Delete, 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 delete. I missed one. Delete. Okay. Wow. Good to go. We are on the 15-minute. We go up to the 4-hour, whichever time frame you prefer. For the purpose of this, just stick with the 15-minute, and this is how my chart will look. I'm happy with it. If I want my chart to stay like this, I can come over here to the templates. I can save the template. I'm just going to call this one naked because it doesn't have any indicators on it. So let's just call it naked. What I also like to do is I like to put a 1 in front of it, so my templates can be to the forefront. When I go to add my template to the chart, it'll come up before these other, even though I probably could delete them. I just hit save, and now I can go to any chart. Let's say you happen to drag a pair. Let's see. You happen to drag a pair on, and it comes back looking like the default settings here, where it's not actually even showing you the candles, it's showing you the bar chart. You can come back to the templates, and you can hit whichever one you want to add on, so you can get your indicate, so you get your setup back. All right. So that will be under the templates. If you want to add a new position, a new trade, you can come right here, hit new order, make sure your lot size is what you want it to be. This is my demo account, so I am just going to, I entered the trade, it showed me I sold here. One of the good things that I like about trading on this version, on the version that's on the computer, the first time you come on, you will probably have to change it, so you can drag for your stop loss. You can say, okay, my stop loss is here. This is what I was looking for. All right, so the one-click trade, you'll have to accept the terms. Accept it. I mean, you can read it if you want to. Accept the terms, hit OK. And now you have the opportunity to drag your stop loss and your take profit. And you can count the pips by the numbers that's moving. It tells you the pip count. So you go in for 10 pips. You can drop it there. But for this, I see this consolidation, so I'm going to put my take profit here. If you put the cursor over this line, it's going to tell you how much your profit is going to be, how much pips it is. So right now we're going for like $6. Our stop loss is at 21 pips. So don't mind these other numbers. Remember, we still have to take in consideration the pipette. So it's saying 217, but when we disregard the last number, it's saying 21. All right. So I like to use the desktop version because it allows me to, if I wanna close a trade, say I mistakenly jumped in one of these, I want to close it. This is GU here. I can just come and I have the trade. I in profit a few pips. I can do that too. Let's look at EU. On the 15-minute, it's in profit now, but not enough for me to put my stop loss in profit. Let's get in a little bit closer. It's not enough because of my broker. I'm not enough in profit to actually put my stop loss in profit. If I was to try, it'll deny me. So just put my stop loss in. So it's too close to price to even allow me to do that. If I wanted to place a trailing stop loss on it, meaning that price would automatically move my stop loss into profit, and this is what I love. This is what I love about trading on the desktop. I really love this feature. I added an indicator. I just added something to help me with the pip counts. So we only one pip in profit on EU, and so I come down here to EU. This is EU here, EURUSD, and I right click on it, and I go to trailing stop, and I go click 20 points. That's 2 pips. Remember, disregard the last number because it's the pipette. So 20 points is 2 pipettes. Is 2 pips. Sorry, 20 points is 2 pipettes. And so if I just hit 2 points as my trailing stop loss, as this move up in profit, once this gets 3 pips in profit, my stop loss will move to break even. It'll move to break even, it'll automatically move, and I don't have to come back and manually move this into profit had I been trading on my phone. All right. So let's leave that. Let's let that run, see how that'll play out. Anything else? The drawing tools, pretty straightforward here as well. Horizontal line, put that line there, and you can change your colors. Double click, like that. You can see that properties, change this to black. I can also change the thickness. I prefer TradingView, to be honest. It's much more user-friendly in my opinion, but I can't trade using TradingView. So, but this is a very useful tool when you have access to it. I was blown away because all I knew was trading from my phone, and I found this, and I got super excited. Right? Anything else? If you happen to can't find your pairs, it's this button here, the market watch. If you want to remove it, you just click this button here. The terminal, which shows your balance and your open trades. You can also slide this up so you can see more of what's down here. If you want that to be gone as well as that, so you can see more chart, that's fine. And then you have the navigator where you can find some indicators. Some indicators that you want to add to the chart. This one here might kind of be harder to find, but you can always go to insert and then indicators. The trend, if you want to find the cloud, you can put the cloud on. Default settings, I put the cloud on. Let's zoom out so you guys can see the cloud. If you want to make it thicker, you can go to right click on the indicator, you go to properties. And you can make it, you can change the colors, I believe, all that. And then you want to save it, you can come here to the templates again, hit save, and save it to what you want to save it as. I have my cloud here already, so I don't want to add another template, so I just cancel it. Indicators again, indicators. I trade with the EMAs, so I just hit the moving average. And this one here, the periods for me, I use a 3, a 10, and a 3, 10, and a 50 exponential moving average. And I know I hit moving average just now, so let's add the 50. Make sure it's exponential. My style, the color, I want to go black with that. The thickness, let's make it decent size so I can see it. Let me remove the cloud, right click on the chart. Delete the cloud, close, go back to add another indicator, trend, hit the moving average again, 50, 10, I like to go blue with my 10, blue, exponential, and then insert, indicators, trend, moving average, still on exponential, so I want to do 3, I want to change the 3 to red, I hit OK, and I am good to go. I am good to go now. I want to save this template, save it, EMA, and I can hit save. I don't have to worry about losing that. This is set. I can also, there's a lot of different stuff that you guys can actually find in here, like a clock, the countdown, for the time. You guys can go to the market. You guys can go to the market and find time remaining. You can search it. I don't think I have one right now because I already know that every 15, if I on a 15 minute, every 15 minutes is going to get a new candle. So we just got a new candle 2 minutes ago because it's 7:47. So 2 minutes ago, we're giving us a new candle. So 8 o'clock will be the next candle. So I kind of have that down pat now. When you get more comfortable, then it's going to change. I have a lot of different stuff that I've played with over the years, a lot of different strategies. Um, but I don't have a lot of them saved on this MT4. The cloud, bum 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 bum. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to EU right quick. Oh, we on EU, and I want to see the stop loss jump into profit. Hoping that we can get into profit a few pips. Just to see that trailing stop loss kick in. If I want to confirm that I do have a trailing stop loss on it, right click, go back to trailing stop, and it's still showing me that I have a trailing stop on it. All right. So, anything else you guys wanted me to touch on before we wrap up? Basically, I am gonna come back on later on tonight at about 9 to do my weekly outlook. Last week we got about 300, almost 400 pips from the weekly outlook on the YouTube link that I posted in the group. We got about 380 pips after we took out the 2 losses. So I'm going to come back on at 9 o'clock again. I didn't expect them to hit so quick. So hopefully by tomorrow we can be up another 300 pips. But past performance doesn't guarantee future results. So I'll be back on at 9 to do my weekly outlook just to get an idea. Feel free, if you guys want to hop back on. I'll post the Zoom link in the chat anyway, and we'll just hop back on at 9. But I can be on it. Even if you guys don't hop back on, I'll be on because I wanna catch them first. All right, so that's all I got. I mean, I wanted this to actually jump into profit so that we can see the trailing stop loss move. The market is still kind of slow because it is Sunday. The market just opened, but I don't want to take up too much time just waiting on this to get in profit. All right, so if any questions?